Kaja even coming in the Cambodian match. We've also seen just a whole lot of different heroes, unique heroes like the Fannies, and even Carmilla coming in as a prio pick in both of the matches that we've seen.
It's definitely surprising, but I think given the right circumstances, there's a lot of potential there, for sure. So for Slovenia, I think they want to curb that fighter aggression, but Argentina, they're going with that Diki ban. So we've seen this being done by Malaysia in the previous match. Pick or ban that Digi, and then just stockpile on that crowd control to ensure that you can get those fights on your terms.
That's very interesting, right? Because we haven't seen a Diggy ban in the first phase in this tournament so far. We did see that Diggy pick, and it was up against a 1-1. It's to counter that 1-1. Here, Argentina, maybe they're hinting at a 1-1 pick for themselves currently. That's what they're trying to strategize around. But Team Slovenia, they're just going to go ahead and ban out that Carmilla, a hero that's just been so annoying. Very good clear, very, very good team fight with obviously that ultimate linking everyone together to get that stun all around.
That seems to be a different version of abusing that crowd control. Argentina, though, will be banning away the Kaja, so denying that crowd control, the bit of burst, and of course, the wave clear as well. Because wave clear, more than anything, is also a huge factor in the current meta. We saw that earlier. Malaysia was able to abuse it completely to ensure that Vietnam just did not have any winning plays. They had to choose between a lose and a lose. And I think that is something that Argentina, from the looks of it, will try and attempt as well.
Let's see. Once again, Martis still up for grabs. We're also seeing that Valentina hasn't been banned at all here in this game. Fanny has been left open, but just as I say it, Slovenia, they banned Fanny straight away. They do not want to first pick it. So right now, what I assume Slovenia are trying to do right now is they're trying to just bait that Valentina first pick. If Argentina goes for the ban onto the Valentina, they're going to pick it up. If Argentina actually does ban it straight away here, the 1-1 is obviously left up for grabs, and the Diggy has been banned out. That's the main counter for the 1-1 currently in this meta.
But you have to remember that the Martes is still open as well, and a lot of teams have been banning him out because he is a very obnoxious hero, man. He has a lot of damage, he is very survivable, and I think it just forces you to play a certain way. And I think if we talk about teams being aggressive, Martis is definitely a very strong tool, and as you predicted, the Valentina has been banned, so Martis comes out just like that.
But maybe, Arashi, this is exactly what Argentina wanted to happen, right? Because the Diggy ban, the Kaja ban, two heroes that are actually really good up against that 1-1. Divine Judgment is a way to lock the 1-1 down, and with her second ability, she's not going to be able to get out of that Divine Judgment. But no, Argentina, they say, we're going to pick up the Faramis, and we're going to pick up that Fredrin. So they already have some damage. They already have a very good XP laner. On top of that, very good team fight and chase potential with that Faramis. 1-1 being completely ignored here. But nope, it just gets picked up. It wasn't shadow pick, but now with the 1-1 in the Eve, Slovenia have drafted themselves a pretty solid front to back.
This is a caster curse at work again. Every time we mention a hero, it just pops out.
No Layla. I'm trying to, you see what I'm trying to do?
Yes, Layla won't be picked for sure. But Slovenia right here, with the Eve, we saw that Malaysia is able to abuse. And correct me if I'm wrong here, I think the crowd control, the slow amount, has been increased. So it's very difficult, especially if you're in melee heroes, to try and chase or even kite away from that Eve. So that in combination with the Martis, that can actually be that main source of damage, and the 1-1 that can maneuver around you, I think Slovenia is up to something here.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, I actually had a discussion with one of the coaches for Oni Esports, Coach Aldo, and we spoke a lot about the Eve, right? The quote-unquote nerfs towards this hero with the range. Everyone thought it was a nerf. Everyone was bashing, obviously, the developers for nerfing, quote-unquote, these heroes. But it's more of an adaptation. It's an adjustment, because with that nerf in the range, there's more slow, there's more utility, you can spam your abilities a bit more, and guess what? It's more damage coming in as well. So with this, it just basically forces the whole community to relearn a hero that we've already known for so long. And with that, it's a very similar hero to Yve as well. A hero that's been constantly nerfed, adjusted here and there. The Beatrix with initially, in the beginning of the year, Wesker being so super dominant with the Renner. Now, it's back to Nibiru.
So a bit of a cheese almost with the Wesker, right? You're going with the Flicker, going aggressively, and catching your opponents off guard. But now, it seems to be a lot more calculated, a lot more standard. Just providing damage from the back line, and using ultimates for wombo combos. Right here for Argentina, there is an okay amount of crowd control, so we'll see what this Beatrix can do. But as you mentioned, Mirko, for Slovenia, that Yves adjustment allows them to be a lot more dynamic and not rely so much on that real-world manipulation. So that is something that Argentina must adjust to. But as we are going into the second banning phase, Atlas as well as Amon, both very aggressive picks here being banned away from both these teams.
Well, you know, obviously the pressure that Amon has here is absolutely insane, considering that Slovenia has a very squishy backline. Getting rid of the Amon just makes a whole lot of sense. Meanwhile, for Argentina, you can already see that with the Digi ban and now the Valentina, Atlas, and Lolita, they're really just trying to take away these hard engage heroes that are AoE because they really want to play around that Faramis called Alter, which is very easily countered now by those two heroes. Well, three technically. The Digi, the Atlas, and the Lolita, right? Because all of them have kind of similar traits. That AoE that can punish the called Alter now that has been revamped where every member has to be in that called Alter radius to get the effect.
To clump together, and that is not... It's never a good thing, especially in the current meta with very punishing combos available. But on the flip side though, Slovenia also has the option to just kite away from it, because as we mentioned, there's been so many changes to the cult altar, and right now, in my opinion, it's just very situational. You need to be using it against very specific compositions, and if Slovenia is able to play around it, I think Argentina might struggle to put good use, to get good use out of that cult altar.
Well, we'll see right now. Argentina going to go for the first pick this time around. Honestly, after the revamp, the adjustment towards the Faramis, he does work better as a mid laner, so that's exactly what they go for. They pick up the Mathilda to fill in that roaming position as they need a little bit more utility. They still need to have that insurance, right? If Slovenia are able to lock a few members down on that call altar, they need someone with that utility to bring them back out, and the Mathilda just provides a good mix of everything. One of the most prio roamers as well, but with that shielding from Mathilda, Slovenia are trying to pick up that Esmeralda and also the Akai, which is interesting because it's gonna be an Akai roam if they do pick this up.
Most likely, but it won't be the Akai, it will be the Grok. So denying a lot of crowd control with the immunity, and then afterwards perhaps being used as one of those setups for the big combo. But if you look at the composition of Argentina right now, they have a lot of utility, but I have to question, is it enough damage, especially if they want to make good use of the cult altar? And as I say that though, Hayabusa makes an appearance.
Oh, I think that's a really good pick, honestly, the Hayabusa, right? Because of the frontliners here from Argentina, both the Fredrin and the Faramis, both of these heroes can really disrupt Slovenia's frontline, and that can enable this Hayabusa to really wreak havoc onto that back line where the 1-1 and the Yves are both going to struggle a lot up against the Hayabusa up until they get either Winner's Truncheon or that Wind of Nature.
For Argentina though, I think their composition actually forces them to be very, very active on the map. Because if they don't make use of all that utility, all those playmaking tools in the early game, I think they will struggle in the output department later on. Especially if Slovenia is able to actually catch up, or maybe just not trail too far behind.
Well, we'll see, ladies and gentlemen. Both of the drafts have been set. You guys can go and comment down below on your predictions. Do you think Argentina or Slovenia has the better draft? Tell us what you think, because right now we're about to jump into the Land of Dawn for the first game in the final match of the day. Once again, here it is, the Land of Dawn, Slovenia, with their jungler starting in the blue side. Coming in, Jotun from Argentina starting on the red.
Both teams just clearing as fast as possible. And I think it's very interesting that both teams will actually do something similar, and usually it will take until the turtle starts spawning for both teams to actually be able to pressure and force their opponents to play a certain way. So we'll have to see in this early game, at least until about 4 minutes, who will actually have more advantage.
Well, Erwin is trying to open up the map here, but the early aggression comes